Hey y'all, today we're making a Twinkie cake. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to need is a box of yellow cake mix. Doesn't matter what brand, doesn't matter what kind, none of that kind of stuff. Just whatever kind of yellow cake mix you got at whatever store you go to will work just fine. And we're not going to make this exactly according to the directions on the box. So I'm just going to talk you through it. And then of course I will, as usual, leave y'all the written recipe down in the description box. Okay. So you're going to need 1 box of yellow cake mix, 3 eggs, 1 cup of plain old water, and half of a cup of oil. Now I use canola oil because that's just what I have at my house. You can use whatever kind of oil you have. It'll work just fine. Doesn't matter what kind. So, y'all, Twinkie cake. Is anybody else feeling like a little bit excited about this Twinkie cake? Like, if you asked me what snack cake I wanted, like the only one I could eat for the whole rest of my life, I would probably pick a Twinkie. So, when my sister sent me this recipe when she found it, I was like, yes, please. Twinkie cake. Yes. So y'all let me know down in the comments. Are y'all team Twinkie or no? Like, what is your favorite snack cake? Because I have some copycats coming up. They're coming up, y'all, and make all kinds of stuff, okay? Let me know what kind y'all like down in the comments, and we'll see if that's what I've got planned. Okay, so once you get your cake batter all mixed up, you're going to pour this into a bundt pan. Make sure you grease your bundt pan very, very, very well, because we want this to come out in one piece, right? And if I didn't say so, which I'm pretty sure I didn't, preheat your oven 350 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? So just get your cake mix, like I said, grease your bundt pan, like extra grease your bundt pan. I mean, if you've never used a bundt pan. If you've used a bundt pan, grease it however you normally do. But if you've never used one, make sure that you grease it very, very well so that nothing sticks, because we want it to be beautiful and all come out in one piece, right? So you're going to pour that into your pan, and it'll kind of even itself out. You don't really have to even it out. But you're going to pour that into your pan, and then we're going to bake this 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 to 35 minutes, or until a toothpick comes out clean. You know, we just want to make sure our cake is done. Now, this is what it's going to look like when it's done, okay? So once it's done, let it cool down for maybe 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to take the end of a wooden spoon or whatever you have that's sort of, you know, shaped like that, and we're going to go around here about every inch or so, and we're going to poke holes in our cake. Now, you want to go pretty far in, but you don't want to go all the way to the bottom. You know, you don't want to poke through the other side of your cake. You know, you don't want it to all come out in the bottom. Do y'all know what I'm saying? So I poked my holes, and then I went back and just kind of wiggled the end of my wooden spoon or wooden utensil there, just because when you poke down in there, it kind of, you know, jumbles the cake up a little bit. So I'm just kind of getting my little holes evened out, okay? So the cream part of this cake is this Pillsbury vanilla marshmallow fluffy frosting. Now, I couldn't find this like at my Walmart. I had to go to a different Walmart to get this, and I actually didn't go for this. I went for something else, but I happened to come across it, because what I was gonna do is take some of the whipped vanilla icing and mix it with some marshmallow fluff. That's what I was gonna do. So if you can't find this icing, that's what I would recommend that you do. Just mix the marshmallow fluff. You know what I'm talking about? The jet puffed marshmallow fluff and some vanilla icing. And you don't need a whole lot. I'm not going to use even this whole container, but I wasn't sure, so I went ahead and put the whole thing in there anyway. Now I'm using these fancy Ziploc bag holders. I love these darn things. They are linked in my Amazon store down below if y'all need some, but these things are fantastic for stuff like this. But you can see I still dropped it, you know, because it's me, whatever. But I put this in a little sandwich bag, and have y'all noticed, and I think I said this in a video a while back, Ziploc bags, now they make them more convenient by making them sort of a square bottom. Well, if you're cheap like me and you use Ziploc bags for piping bags, it's hard to use those square bottom bags. So just make sure if you're going to do this that you have a bag that doesn't have that weird, flat thing on the bottom. You can still use those, but it's a little bit more difficult. So look, I'm cleaning up. So anyway, once you get your icing down in your Ziploc bag, and you see I got it all over my Ziploc bag because in true Tammy fashion, I'm going to make a mess regardless, right? But look, I'm cleaning it up. It'll be all right. So you're just going to seal your little bag. Try not to, try to get like the air out of it, just because it's easier when you start to squeeze it if there's not a whole bunch of air in the bag. So just squeeze her shut. See, just kind of push it down and get your air out. And if you don't get it all out, y'all, it's not the end of the world, I promise. But do the best you can. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take just a pair of scissors and we're going to snip the bottom corner of the bag. And I'm trying to kind of going through this in case you've never done this before. I know most people probably have, but if you're a new cook, maybe you don't know. So, I'm trying to help everybody. So try to squeeze it down into one corner and then just snip a little piece of it off. Then you're going to want to kind of push the bag into the hole that you made and just very slowly start squeezing out that frosting so that you get it all the way down into the bottom of your hole, and then just kind of back your bag out as it fills up. You see what I'm doing? Y'all see? So you're just going to keep doing this until you get all of your holes filled up. Now, if you don't, obviously you're going to see how much I have left. At least half of the container I had left over because these holes are not very big. So what you could do, you have a few options. You could put more holes in it if you wanted to. I just felt like I didn't need a ton of the icing on mine. I'm not the biggest icing fan anyway, even on a regular cake. Like everybody begs for the corner piece. Now, I want the corner brownie. I like the crispy crust, the crispy crust of the brownie. But on a cake, I'm not the biggest fan of the icing usually. So I was okay with it just being what I was putting down in these little holes. But if you want to, like I said, you could poke more holes, or you could just save it and, put a little more on top of your piece when you cut it. So once you get your little holes all filled up with the frosting or the cream, you're going to take a plate and flip your pan over, and you're going to hope and pray that this comes out in one piece. That's what you're going to do. But if you grease it well enough, ta-da, look at there, y'all, one piece. And then you just cut it, and y'all, look at this. Twinkie. It's Twinkie cake. Oh my gosh, I can't stand myself. It is so good, y'all. You've got to give this a try if you've never tried it. Okay, that's all I've got for y'all today. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.